Bitcoin 250, 260,000 by the end of the year. Hey, that's a couple weeks away. I've read the articles. I hear what they're saying. I personally don't see it in the charts. I don't believe it. I would love to hear your comments and your rebuttal down below if you do. I'm a long-term Bitcoin person. I believe in Bitcoin. I have since about 2016. I was trading it at $1,000 a coin. I should have kept everything I had. I did buy a couple houses in a solo 401k. Another topic for another day, how you could do that. But I really wanted to make this just to talk about Bitcoin and gold and silver. So let's talk about Bitcoin. If you love Bitcoin, you think it's going to be something, you think that this is just a pullback, hey, buy the Bitcoin. Remember, not your keys, not your crypto. Get it pulled off the index, get it down, pull it, put it on a ledger, take care of it. I've left my stuff on an exchange before and it got swiped. So don't be that guy. I learned that lesson early on. So if I believe in Bitcoin, I'm buying Bitcoin. I'm maybe buying an ETF like, BITX or something like that. There's several of them out there. Take a look at them. I don't have any of those. I actually don't have very much crypto at all right now. I believe winter's coming. That's kind of where I'm standing on it. There's a company called Strategy out there that keeps getting pushed around. MicroStrategy, Saylor, MSTR is the ticker. I would encourage you to take a look at that. I keep seeing this get pushed over and over. I don't understand their business model. And why I say that is I see them out there pushing Bitcoin, leveraging Bitcoin, loaning Bitcoin. But let's put this in the terms that I can understand that hopefully you will too. If I think about real estate, in real estate, you can buy or you can borrow against your assets, but your assets have to be worth something. In 2008, we saw the housing crisis, right, approach us quickly when the property values were actually worth less than what people owed on them. So they were underwater. So what happens when my Bitcoin, if I'm a company leveraging my assets, what happens when Bitcoin gets underwater? So my average price, let's say it's 80,000 and Bitcoin drops to 75,000. What happens with that $5,000 gap? But on top of that, we have the administrative costs of running the business. We have the lights, the employees, the bills, the insurance, all that stuff, right? So how am I affording all that? That's my question about MSTR. I see what it is. I personally don't have positive thoughts on it, and I'm going to kind of keep those to myself. But I would love to be proven wrong. I would love for somebody to enlighten me on what their business model is. Where I would like for you to look, if you're in the camp that I am, I think winter is coming. So again, if I think winter is coming, there are a couple of great things I can buy. If I'm in a Roth IRA, I can buy something called WNTR, winter. It's the yield max, high NAV erosion, better understand that. Basically your premium is or your cost is gonna shrink, but they're gonna pay a dividend out. That dividend, if you're just holding it in regular, look back at my tax bracket video, you're gonna see that's gonna impact you. If you're not, and you're just trading that in a 401k or a Roth, hey, that's a great place for that to be. It's gonna pay you weekly dividends, and they're handsome. If you think Bitcoin's gonna fall, you can sell your Bitcoin. If you think Bitcoin is going to fall and put strategy in a spot where they're gonna be underwater, you can do what I've done, and that's invest in MSTZ. It's a double inverse MicroStrategy play. So what that means is when strategy goes up 5%, MSTZ goes down 10%. When strategy goes down 5%, MST goes up 10%. So it's a double, a 2x inverse. So whatever the opposite is, that's the rate it's gonna fall. Me personally, I have a 401k and a Roth IRA that I trade in. I set, stop losses, and, I buy on limits, I sell on stop losses all day long. I love to do that. So you can definitely put in market orders, and you can put the target numbers out there. You can put stop losses. You can put all that stuff in there if you decide to play with MSTZ. But it's very volatile right now, and you're going to get a lot of action because Bitcoin, MSTR, and MSTZ are moving every day. MSTZ moves 5 to 10% a day, it feels like. I think Bitcoin is going down to in the 70s. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just telling you what I see. There's definitely smart people out there way smarter than me doing this. And I kind of follow some of what they lead, but you got to follow everybody. You got to understand and listen to everybody. They all have great insight on what's going on here. I've been following Bitcoin since 2016. I have people who were following Bitcoin in 2011, and every year they post on Facebook how They wish they would have bought, but they were glad that they didn't because Bitcoin is topped out at $150, right? So definitely you want to make sure you're following this market closely. I want to talk about gold and silver as well. If you look at what's going on in the world right now, you have Russia and China and all these countries just importing and bringing in as much gold as humanly possible. That makes me a little worried if I look at everything that's going on in the world. We are $38 trillion in debt here in America, and it's rising rapidly. We have a spending problem. We know we have a spending problem, but we don't know even where to start. My worry is we're going to get called on the carpet one day, and all these countries that are importing all that gold are going to push back to the gold standard, and we're going to get caught with our pants down. So that's why I really like having physical assets that I can hold in my hands that people really can't take away from me, like gold, silver. That's why I really like having my Bitcoin on a ledger. That's why I really like having real estate. I encourage you guys to definitely do the same. Love to get your feedback on what you think about gold and silver. Love to get your feedback on where you think Bitcoin's headed, long-term and short-term. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you.